Ah,
What is showing pre-live?
I'm co-
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, my dear students. Today we are shifting from income tax to goods and service tax related e-filing. Before starting, let us I am clarifying one point. And you remember that when I have taken my first class that related to the income tax. Initially, I have taken some theory discussion, taken place some theory, and I was very openly discussing with you regarding the. I was discussing with you regarding uh, the provisions and some comments. One gentleman perhaps given a comment which was not acceptable to me. Subsequently, next class, I also switch over to the most of the video clips used my ID, etc. And I hope to some extent you may be satisfied, but you never raised any question and answer. But what I am telling today, you see, GST is a transaction-based tax. The portal is totally based upon the transaction. In income tax portal, it is based upon the income tax. And GSTN portal having lot of multiple facilities and activities that we will discuss in detail. We will cover in the three classes what I planned. I will take 20 to 25 minutes to give some view about to the related provisions and the pattern structure which will be very much required to understand the e-filing. So e-filing particularly four categories I have chosen. If more possible also we can go forward. One is your registration, which is the first step. The second one is e-invoicing. Third one is the filing of return. Fourth one is the e-way bill. In addition to there are the other activities how to see it that also I will try to display before you. But one thing we see, I cannot enter to anybody's login because it's a transaction-based tax. Anybody's login, I cannot go to do some practicability like the return I filed in my opening my own ID. It's not practically possible. So I will try my best and I will give some tips regarding the user manual whatever available. So that will go. Let us first discuss about very quickly 20 minutes maximum and we will discuss about the background provisions, background related matters which will help you in understand regarding the theory sorry practical portion how to do it in the e-portal e-filing system. And one thing I request you kindly raise the question and answer because nobody raising the question. At least you write to what extent you satisfied. At least I should know that I tried my best and these people are to some extent satisfied. You see what happens? This is a very practical oriented thing. So e-filing. Even if theory you understand video number of honestly I'm telling even if we have 38 years experience, 7, 8 years I'm practicing an advocate. I am a CM and company secretary after my service, and we are appearing before the High Court, other tribunals. But sometimes also, even we are reading most of the times, but sometimes also we are on to understand the provisions, opening the different video clips in the available in the YouTube. That is the easiest method to do. Even with today, I will give some tips or some display I will make. But you yourself can develop yourself by going to the YouTube portal, open it, to see it, how it is functioning. If you repeatedly will see. And practically if you do, then you become a master. So anyhow, we will try our best and kindly raise some question. If you have any doubt regarding that we raise, I will try my best to do it. Friends, you see, GST, Goods and Service Tax, has come out from 1st July 2012, 1st July 2017. It is rolled out, and the background is the different taxes, whatever was earlier levied by the government of India and state government union territories, is regulated through the power under the Constitution of India. Actually, you know that we have a constitution in which the 25 parts containing 448 articles. Political students can better understand it, but as a common student, economic student, you can also have some idea. And 12 schedules are there. And there is a list one where the central government was putting the tax. List two, the state governments are putting the tax. And list is the concurrent where state and central putting the tax. So these are the power. That's why in the earliest step, the earlier what happens, this power was exercised, thereby central excise was collected by the central government, import duty, export duty was collected by the central government, and around 24 cess, what we can say, it was collected by state and central government. In the state, the VAT was collected, sales tax was collected, and entry tax was collected, entertainment tax was collected, CST was collected. CST is a central act, but the state has collected because the service tax was collected by the center, and goods tax was collected by the state, because as per the constitutional provision, the state cannot, could not, that time they cannot go for the, could not go for the levy. So that's a different state and center, they are collecting different taxes. But when it was decided that it has a cascading effect, very shortly I am talking, tax on tax was imposed. In many cases, say the input tax credit was not available except the SENVAT, which was available in the central excise and service tax. And in the VAT subsequently it was available, but other cases was not available. So that's why it was decided to go for the GST. The constitutional amendment has been made and the GST council was formed. So under the GST council, actually it was decided that one GST has to be imposed, but practically it could not be possible because the state and center, they objected to it. So that's why we have a dual GST. So you first understand, when I'm going to the portal for going for the registration and even also filing the return by raising the e-invoices or the manual invoices where applicable. So in that case, it should be very clear that we are following the dual GST. So dual GST means when there is a interstate supply. Interstate supply means the buyer and the seller, the supplier and the receiver. Actually, in the concept of GST, it is not a buyer and the seller, it is the supplier and the recipient. Both are in the same state or the same union territory or same union territory, then the tax will be imposed, means collected in the tax invoice, that is CGST and OGST, Central Goods and Service Tax, and State Goods and Service Tax. But if the supplier and the recipient are situated in two different states, one union, one state, one union and one state, or two unions, or the two states, so three possibility. So in that case, the IGST or the integrated goods and service tax is applicable. In the portal, when you go practically, you will see these things will ask. Now question is, the tax rates are there. Major tax rates are your 6%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. Actually, this is the half we can say. CGST, if you take it is 2.5%, OGST 2.5%, SGST 2.5%, or UTGST is 2.5%. So CGST and UTGST or state GST. Similarly, 5%, all the state will be 6%, 6%, 12%, then 9%, 9%, 14%, 14%. And if there is interstate, then it will be covered under IGST. If there is import, it is also covered under the IGST. So import, earlier what tax was imposed? If anybody is importing, then they are paying the customs duty. They are paying the additional custom duty, or the additional custom duty they are paying. Additional custom duty has been paid to levy more taxes, so that to restrict the import, to to protect the Indian industry, because the excise was collected in the Indian industry. So in lieu of excise, it is collected. Now after the GST has come, import is subject to basic custom duty. I'm talking basic custom duty. Previously it was basic custom duty, now also basic custom duty. Previously it was additional custom duty, now there is no additional custom duty, it is the IGST. So in import it is IGST, it is in interstate it is IGST, inter-union it is IGST, one state to one union it is also IGST. So IGST will be in the portal on the return filing. We will see when you are filing there is a place of supply where it is consumed. It is a consumption based tax. So you have to properly put the consumption pattern. If I am supplier in Odisha, you are a recipient in the Andhra. So consumption is made in the Andhra. So here interstate IGST is collected. So I have to pay the IGST. It will go to the central government. Central government will keep 50%. Then 50% will be given to Andhra, not to me. If it is a intrastate, inside state, let you take in Andhra, both a supplier and a recipient, then it is CGST and Andhra GST. So 50%, 50%, let you take if 18%, 9%, 9%. So that dual GST you have to understand. And when the GST was introduced, so whether it is CGST or GST or IGST, so all taxes has been merged because one tax was a proposal, but subsequently it become dual tax. Central and state both will be collected. So that's a your excise duties of medical, medicinal and toilet preparation, additional duties of excise, additional duties of excise, textile and textile products, additional duties of customs, it is known as CVD in case of import. Special additional duty of customs, SAD, it was also imposed in the case of import. Central surcharge, etc., and service tax, all merged, became one tax. Okay, it was merged, and similarly, in case of state level, your state VAT, central tax, luxury tax, entry tax, entertainment tax, tax on advertisement, purchase tax, tax on lotteries, betting, and surcharges. So it is also merged, and accordingly, the central tax and state tax now become the GST. So if we talk about already I told you all the state taxes, it is SGST and UTGST, CGST, and the interstate supply only IGST is applicable, and the tax has to be collected. So we have a central GST Act, we have a state GST Act, we have IGST Act, we have a union territory. But in addition to that, the dual GST, in addition to that, there is also another tax has been imposed that is known as compensation cess. And why the compensation cess was imposed? Because when you are going for taking your registration, when you are going for filing your return, when you are going for raising the invoices, so in that case you have to go for all the these particular cess has to be collected. Actually, you know that when the GST was introduced, because these are very practical things that has to be keep in mind, all the central, all the state governments, union territories objected the apprehension that their collection in the future will be reduced on the implementation of the GST. The reason is because of the consumption based tax. So consumption means X company in Odisha manufacturing product but not selling in the Odisha. It is going to the Andhra, let Maharashtra, let Delhi. So whatever tax has been collected as IGST, 50% will go to the Andhra, Delhi or Maharashtra, and 50% will go to the central government. State government of Odisha will not get anything. But if you will go to the previous button, it was the central excise was going to central government, but VAT whatever collected you are going to state government. So now in this pattern, the consumption is very. If anybody any amount is consumed in Odisha, the supplier, the recipient in Odisha, then that tax will go to the Odisha. So that's why people are apprehending that the tax will not be the tax whatever they are collecting may not be to that extent they are going to collect. So that's why government promised them that okay, whatever tax you are getting, every year 14% rise you will get. Any shortfall that will be paid by the central government. So that's why a cess has been imposed. Suppose the state was collecting 10,000 crores. 2017, 18, 14% means 11,400 they have to collect. But collection made only 11,400 crores shortfall. So that was required to be paid to the that government from the central government. So where the central government will bring the money? So that's why the Compensation Act was introduced, and a compensation cess is imposed only on few items, but at a high rate, vehicles, ice cream, like this, many aerated water. So these things are there. You can go to the list. So that amount. So we are now, when we are talking about going for the registration, when we are talking about going for the, we will take the registration, but it will cover CGST, state GST, union GST, IGST, and compensation cess. If it applicable to you, whole case compensation cess to be collected. So that you have to keep in mind. So but one thing remember, the provisions related to everybody remains the same. These are the product are not covered under the GST. It is still a VAT is collected. So these are mostly petroleum products. And while the VAT is implemented, there is two types of supply. One is a taxable supply, one is exempted supply, and exempted supply on which tax is not collected. So I am talking about supply. Supply means goods or services, or goods and services. So now question is, when as a supplier, so suppose you are the supplier, and how you have to comply with the provisions. Now first you have to take the registration, and it is a PAN based registration. We will go see the user manual step by step how it will be done. We will also see some video clips, how we are going to get a registration, what are the procedure to be followed, what are the document to be followed, or what information you have to give, and who can be authorized signatory, and other related matters we are going to discuss. But one thing remember before going forward, so I decided to go forward registration. Why registration is required? Now under the GST, when a tax has been collected, and that tax is known as outward tax. So the tax is paid to the government under different modes. So first one is forward charge. Forward charge means I am supplier of goods or supplier of services to you. I am collecting the tax while I am raising the tax invoice. Tax invoice we will discuss to next class when we will have the discussion in the e-portal how to go forward, raise the invoice, file the issue the invoice, and e-invoice how to issue, manual invoice how to issue. But you have to first we have to see that I must be registered. If I registered, then whatever forward tax I am giving, whatever input I purchase, input means let us see very simple way I am telling, I am a trader. So I purchase some goods at 100 rupees, paid 18% tax. I added transportation, loading, unloading, my profit, etc. I am selling at 150, collecting at the rate of 18%. So what 18% means 27 rupees I collect, but what 18 I paid, I will deduct only 9 paid. So why in case of forward charge, the input tax will be deducted if you are eligible. Few cases input tax eligibility is not there, but I am eligible. Your reverse charge is many services or goods. Buyer has to pay the tax on that, and that tax is available as ITC. But there is also further coverage in case of e-commerce operators where the tax has been collected under the reverse charge. So e-commerce operator is the platform. Let Ola is a platform. So here the services has been provided to the consumers or the recipients, but the service provider is not the portal, Ola portal. The service providers are the your vehicle owners, taxi or car drivers, four wheelers, auto, etc. So in that case, the operator, actually the utility operator, will pay the tax. Similarly, your any Blinkit, any you take Myntra. So many cases, those who are making the sales through the e-commerce. So my question is whether it is a e-commerce or it is a new trader, is a manufacturer, those who are going to supply, and it is taxable or even exempted, but they have to go for the registration if it is exceeding the threshold limit. And this registration is a PAN based registration, and the registration should be taken in the state wise. So what is PAN based? Later X company is in Delhi, it's a registered office, but they are operating in the 10 states. So one PAN, because one person should have one PAN. Already we discussed, but they can take the registration in the different states or union territory where they are working. So they have to take one registration. If they are working in West Bengal, they are working in Karnataka, they are working in that Nagaland, they are working in Rajasthan, so they have to take one registration. So it is a PAN based registration. So while we are going for the registration portal, we will also you remember how the PAN based portal is working and how to do it. One registration for the state for the union. Earlier, it was multiple registration was there, that was omitted. Business, if they are having a turnover actually less than the threshold limit. The threshold limit for the northeastern states to I may understand 10 crores, 10 lakhs. But in the case of service, 10 lakhs. But in case of other states, it is 20 lakhs. But in case of goods, it is 40 lakhs and 20 lakhs. Please check up it. So they are only they have to go for. There is a voluntary registration. There is a mandatory registration. If they are exceeding threshold limit, mandatory. But if they do not exceed threshold, they can take also voluntary registration to get the input tax credit benefits. In addition to there is a casual person can take registration. In addition to even if you got the exemption, but you can have a registration. You can a composite dealer. Composite dealer means instead of paying the tax at a normal rate. I have only told you the 4 rates, but actually there is more rates also there for the gold, silver, platinum, and for the composition scheme case may there are different rates are there. So that composition dealer means they will not take input tax credit, but they will a flat rate they will give. So they are not so for composition dealer how to take the registration. Then the GST number, goods and service tax identification number, just like your PAN. So they will be identified with that number. It's a 15 digit and they have to take it. So registration, a single registration for all taxes, whether you pay CGST, state GST, union territory GST, or we can say compensation says, but one registration or IGST, one registration has to be given. So threshold limit already I discussed, and your taxable supply, exempted supply, you may have the export is zero rated, interstate supply. So then aggregated turnover basis, you can go for the for the purpose of threshold limit registration. But below that also you can go for. Just I was telling 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, and 20 lakhs. Northeastern is 10 lakhs, and other answer about all these things is 20 lakhs. So that is changing from time to time. So already we discussed it, compulsory registration, these cases. The person, those who are not touching the threshold limit, not required to go for the registration, but a casual dealer sometimes can go for the registration. And before the casual dealer means the person who is not doing business but occasionally doing business. So he has to go for the registration, first pay the estimated tax on the basis of estimated turnover. And if he exceeding, then you pay the tax, then continue it. So it will be within 30 days from the date which he become liable to registration. So that is the normal process, but casual cases they have to go prior to doing the business. So voluntary registration, these things already I told you. I am not going through details. Now how to go forward? We will go to the portal. Then we can go for the registration. Once you have a registration, you can go for amending the registration, adding the new registration, changing of your information, data, etc. Whatever you are giving related to the directors, related to the authorized signatory, because a person has been authorized to operate the portal. So that has to be given, and your registration under certain circumstances can be cancelled, and there is a procedure has been followed for cancellation. Then after cancellation, if you recomply, then you can revoke your application. You can do it in the portal, because everything we have to do it. So this is a background just I have given to understand to some extent. Then we will go for at least to see the portal, how the portal is look like. So I am just going to show you the portal. Friends, you see this is the portal. So it looks like very good. Can you confirm that actually it is also visible, it is visible properly. Just have a confirmation, my dear students. In the chat box, can anybody confirm? Because I may not in a position to know also. Please confirm. Anyone can confirm. Madam, if you are there, can you confirm? It is showing.
Hello, yes, it's visible.
Okay, okay. So actually, if I not understand, then it is become a waste. Friends, you see, this is the goods and service tax portal. Before that, I will come. What is the GSTN? I will have a video clip. I will give you. Just have a look. This is the home. These are services are available. Because I cannot register it because I don't have the login, and it's already I clarified, since it is a transaction based, login is not advisable, because that login is uh, not appropriate to do that. Okay, so that's why what happens, this is the services. On service station, that is a registration portal. You can go to the new registration, you can track your application, you can only go practically. We will go for the application for filing clarification. If you apply online with all the documents, so it will be verified by the department, and now it will become very strict. You know that there is a fake registrations are there, because people wanted to take the ITC equivalent to money. Input tax credit is equivalent to money. So they wanted that the fake registration, under that they can go for the avail the ITC and bypass the money. So that's why government has gone very strictly. While you are going for the application, they will go for strictly in, verifying it. And very important point, subsequently we can see, your business place has to be given by geocode. Geocode means in the map you have to identify where you are in existence. Previously, with all the documents, rent agreement, ownership, all these things are there, but you have to identify it. You will see how it will be geo identified, and the with that geo identification, in the Google search, Google map, we can say the department officer will come see that whether your business is there or not. To that extent, we will see in the portal. So similarly, home state, these are the specifically will not go to. Then it will come to the payment, creation of a challan. And actually, if you go to registration, we will go details, but you see how many links are there. New registration track after. If you go to the new registration, you can also finding, you see how to go for the registration. But that's why we are it is online, but I will show you how to go forward in the registration. So that's why, and here we are just in the service payment. Similar user service, actually, while I'm everything is there. Actually, this portal is very knowledgeable portal. There's a lot of in addition to your income tax, sorry, GST acts, rules, and notification circulars, the user guides are there, and knowledge based articles also there, leaflets are there, where you can track it and read it and have some knowledge also. And while you are filing, we also know, you know that your service and goods. When I am talking about levy of the tax, that the exception is there, harmonized system of nomenclature, where the code has been given. So that is in case of goods, and SSC code in case of services. And sometimes, suppose I am supplying some services, which category it will fall. So you can go to the HSN, put it, and then you can know whether it is covered or not. Giving you one example. This is I am doing some wash contract. Let you take a wash contract. I am going by description, but I am just that is I am going by service. Wash contract is service, so I put it. So then you go, which session is falling. So I am putting it wash contract. Then what will happen? It will coming. The actually wash contract is 99575427 code. Again, wash contract also number of subcodes also. That's why it is showing. You see how many codes are showing. This is also general construction. Like this, it will show you. So a person can also search which category your services or goods are falling. Either you get a clarification or you can go also. So that's why I told HSN wise you can also go. Then you can go also on the register applicant user ID you can generate. You can also have the cause list, verify RPN. That will see. These are the service. Actually, if you go to the login, you can have more access of user services, because these are user services general. But as an registered person, so my user services are more. You will find all the orders are there, all application you have to submit, all the show cause reply you have to submit, sorry, investigation report, show cause, return filing, everything you have to do the portal. It will show. Now it will not showing here. Uh, then you can go to refund application. Then you can OB is a separate system is there. Then you can go for the track your application status. So these are there. If you go to the download, these are registered laws. You see how many laws are there. Many laws are there. CIC, all the places, and if you want, you can read it also. These are the laws are there. Download field, if you go, offline tools are available. Actually, these offline tools is return filing tool, transit of ITC tool. So you see, there are a lot of tools are there, and the forms are there. Different forms I am filing. These are the tools are available which I have to access. Then you can go for the online and offline tool. Then you can also search the taxpayers. You can search, suppose XYZ, whether that let that taxpayer is exist or not, I can also verify here. There is also a help desk is there. You see in the help desk, the number of items are available. Here you can see GST service provider site map is there. But all the this is a knowledge portal also there. Simply you can, I'm going to the knowledge portal. Let me take. This is a video portal, just I'm telling. You can go to the video portal. It is not accepting. You see, I'm going video portal. You see how many video, every cases offline, online videos are there. These are the, practically I'm talking. It is return filing, offline tools, input task ID, registered with GST. Today we will discuss registered with DSA. Sorry, register with GST. Then lodging username, password, enroll function as a GST practitioner. Here, not only given the knowledge-based manuals, but also many cases your authentic, sorry, your video clips also available to understand it very easily. And always you can also use other video clips which are available in the YouTube. That is there. You see, many cases enforcement, compounding, file grievance, audit. So these are actually the facilities are available where you can go for. This is e-invoicing. E-invoicing has a separate. If you put the e-invoicing, it will take you a separate site where the e-invoicing is. So we will discuss e-invoicing. We will also discuss e-way bill, because e-invoicing linked to the e-way bill. Nowadays, what happens? Whenever any goods has been transferred from one place to other, then you have to go for using the way bill. Without way-bill, you cannot carry the goods from supplier to recipient and exceeding certain value. But again, I'm telling, e-way-bill again has been more restricted and has to be taken off in the will be taken off. Sorry, is modified from time to time to make it more compactable, to reduce the fake transport of goods by raising fake invoices. So that is it is linked actually. Your e-invoice is linked to the e-way bills. So that we will discuss wherever possible. Now let us go with the first. I am just going to show you the GSTN portal. What is GSTN? How it is managed? Let us. I am disconnecting here. Then I will once again I will add to you regarding the that portal. So I'm giving a small video clip where you can the technology background of the GSTN, how the GSTN has been formed, and now. And one point just I will tell you. First I will show this. Then another point, important point I wanted to tell you how the GSTN portal is managed.
There's a lot of buzz in the corridors of commerce about the advent of this special purpose vehicle to harmonize the complex world of India's indirect tax regime. A not-for-profit, non-government, a private limited company, GSTN, was incorporated on the 28th of March 2013. GSTN, the Goods and Services Tax Network, is a special purpose
sir?
vehicle, a G2B IT platform.
Sir, are you
whose
playing
mission-
any video?
Yes, that's why I'm saying.
Sir, it's not visible then.
Okay. Let 1 second. I am putting it. That's why every time I wanted to ask you.
is to implement.
Now it is visual.
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Oh, okay. Just I'm going back. You tell me actually. After that also some video I will show some theory
Okay.
manual, then video because I may not in a position to know it. Just I'm.
There's a lot of buzz in the corridors of commerce about the advent of this special purpose vehicle to harmonize the complex world of India's indirect tax regime. A not-for-profit, non-government, a private limited company, GSTN, was incorporated on the 28th of March 2013. GSTN, the Goods and Services Tax Network, is a special purpose vehicle, a G2B IT platform, whose mission is to implement Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of a digital India. Hence, GSTN's mission is to provide a reliable, efficient and robust IT backbone for the smooth implementation of the Goods and Services Tax GST system. For this to happen without a hitch, Team GSTN, comprising of a rich repertoire of experienced persons with sound administrative and technological background, provide dynamic leadership. 3 dedicated teams of GSTN for technology, support and services ensure a smooth execution of GST across country via GST portal.
Officially launched the GST.
GST, which rolled out from the 1st of July 2017, integrates many stakeholders for compliance of indirect central and state taxes into a broad-based comprehensive single window for single tax system, thus integrating India in true sense from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. GST portal, developed by GSTN, is the gateway to enter the virtual cosmos of goods and services tax. It will function as the unified front end of the overall GST IT ecosystem for all indirect taxpayers across India. This innovative platform that can be accessed by myriad devices like desktop, laptop or even smartphone without any worries, because GSTN is a highly secure system. So far, millions of taxpayers of earlier indirect tax regimes, as well as new taxpayers, have registered on the GST portal. GSTN is also developing complete back-end system for the tax administrations of 27 states and union territories for carrying out functions such as registration, approval, assessment, audit, and adjudication, etc. A safe and secure ecosystem of data transfer protocol has been created through Application Programming Interface (API). Apart from this, the accounting authorities of centre and states are also integrated with GST systems for reconciliation, accounting, fund settlement, etc. The success of GSTN lies in making GST portal applications easy and convenient to use by the users. An effective outreach program is implemented on regular basis. Webinar, workshops for stakeholders, training sessions of master trainers and tax officials are being organized from time to time. In case of any confusion or problems pertaining to GST filing, Dedicated help desks are there for the timely assistance of taxpayers and for tax officials. GSTN has created first of its kind platform in the world to ensure the smooth digital transformation from a complex indirect taxation system to a simpler GST. One nation, one tax. GSTN, making GST happen.
Friends, just I wanted to tell you one thing that you might have seen that GSTN portal, GSTN portal is managed by the GSTN. It is a special purpose vehicle, and it is just like having share of certain stakeholders. And any changes has been made. There is a lot of changes has been taken place from 2017 till date. So neither here the state government or central government or union territory, it is the GSTN who will undertake all the changes that has been approved or become the act. But one thing remember, as I was telling, when the GST Act is there, I explained to you regarding the CGST, state GST, union territory GST, IGST, and already I told you that the registration is the first, and how the registration is managed. If the two state and center and union territory, state union territory in one side and center in the other side is collecting the tax, how they are collecting. Now, actually, what happens, when the GSTN was formed, up to that period, that means on 1st July 2017, only 65 lakhs service provider and a supplier of the goods are there. So that registration has been distributed among the state and union territory. And as I remember, 1.5 crores any turnover exceeding, it has gone to the center, and other cases it has gone to the state. So now what happens, if you are going to take registration, so your registration will be under same GSTN portal, one portal, but your registration will be under either central government or the state government or union territory. Central government in the other side or state oblique union territory, where you can go. So let I have been registered under the state tax, means state government GST. So in that case, starting from my registration and subsequent activities, that filing of return, taking ITC, filing of all the returns, annual returns, the scrutiny of returns by the department, receiving the notice, audit, let you take investigation, and any appeal, adjudication demand order, whatever will come, everything will be taken by the state officers or the union officers. If I have been attached to the central government, then it will be then the central officers can go forward. Friends, why I am telling this is very much required. If you are going to use the portal, you should know who is your assessing officer, who is assessing, state or center. So your registration will be identified whether you are in state or the center. That 65 now reached to 1.15 or 1.51 crores registration. Out of 1.51 crores, last up to March I am talking 2025, 1.35 crores around is the normal taxpayers, and the balance around 16 crores is coming under the composition scheme and casual dealers and others, non-residents and many other dealers. So the state government, central government, both are collecting the tax, but tax will go to, as I explained to you, either it will go to the central government IGST, then 50% will give to the consumer state where the consumption is made. How it will be made in the return filing, I will tell how the government will identify that consumption has been made in any state. That will tell you. But if it is central, the state government is collecting, then CGST, GST, IGST. But in the portal itself, it will go to respective state and center. They do not have any role. The money will not let. I am a state dealer. I am covered under, let Raulkela is one of the city in the Odisha. I am covered under that state tax. Let you take it. They are looking after my all the activities. But I am supplying, making interstate supply. I am making interstate supply. I am making export. I am also importing. All the GST related activities. I am filing the return. It will looked after by the Raulkela department, and other department can come and make an investigation. There is no bar on it. But when I am depositing the tax, they do not have any role. In the portal itself, automatically it will go to the CGST, will go to the central government, SGST, OGST, we can say, will go to the Odisha government. And similarly, your compensation cess will go to the central government. Your if union territory is there, then it will go to the UT, GST. So automatically it will go. They do not have nobody is going to interfere. But one point you can keep in mind that if suppose the department, the particular department, they are going for the scrutiny, because once I file the return, you know that now the AI technology they are using, artificial intelligence they are using. Different states are using different types of artificial intelligence techniques or softwares to gather the data, third-party data, etc. So that is they are applying to scrutinize it. But GST portal, they do not have the control. So you should be very clear on that. So when applying for that, automatically it will go to state or center that has been there. So with this background, let us go for first. And another point just I wanted to tell you before going for, if I am a central GST registration is there, central government is looking after, can the state government will go for issue the notices? Yes, they can go for the issue of the notices, but not in the same manner in which same subject in which already the central has taken the step, vice versa, the same provisions are applicable. So this much you keep in mind. Then next I am going to show you how I have to go for the registration. How I have to go for the registration. Just one point. Madam, I think now it is seen.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Friends, you see, already I was telling you, this is my GSTN portal. Actually, I have simply gone to the www.gov.in. Okay. Not help, it has come to that extent. If you go, then that will come. But here, what will happen? I do not have a login, because if you go for login, it will ask you put the login, but I do not have a username, but I cannot use my client's name. Thank you, but I cannot use it. I have number of clients, but I cannot use it. Your username is there, password is there, and these are the captcha you have to put. Then you have to log in. If you have anything, forgot the username, password, then you click it, and you can also go for the new password. But I cannot go to that extent, so you can go it. And accordingly, I have shown you that I'm just going to discuss. Sorry, I'm going to discuss. I'm going to discuss how to go for the registration. Actually, somewhere it is. Sorry. How will you go for the registration? And if you go for the registration, so simply I will go to register with GST. If I will go to the register with GST, friends, just I'm clarifying. You see, these are the things that are available in the portal. These are the this user manual. So now it is applying for the registration, Aadhaar authentication, applying for the temporary user ID, applying for GST registration with the, instead of this web portal, you can also go to the MCA web portal, Ministry of Corporate Affairs website, and then you can also make the application. Applying for extension of registration period in case of casual or non-resident taxpayer. Non-resident taxpayer and casual taxpayer can go for the registration also. Post-registration site visit. Once that is also so motor registration. Already I told you, when there is a threshold limit, you are not exceeding the threshold limit, but you can go for the registration. View a said application. Actually, once you applied for the registration, because it will be verified by them, so till that date it will show as a saving application. So that will be there. You are filing clarification. If the department raises anything, you have to go for a filing clarification. You can also see whether your application at what stage, just like your income tax return has been filed, whether it processed or not. You are just going to the portal and seen it. You can also see. You can track your application during the period. whether it is taken up, not taken up, at what stage it is there. And opting to composition scheme. Already I told you, I am a regular dealer, but I want to make a tax payment composition scheme at a lower tax rate, and my turnover is not exceeding 50 lakhs, but a lower tax rate. So in that case, no ITC is available, but you can go for. Once later I am continuing as a composition taxpayer, but I want to withdraw it by I am exceeding the threshold limit, or I do not want to continue because I am losing, because there is a restriction of taking ITC. So you can go for amendment of registration if you want to make any changes, resetting email and a mobile number, so much cancellation of registration, voluntary cancellation, applying for cancellation of registration in the form REG 16, applying for cancellation, applying for revocation, and then appeal. Suppose they cancel your department compulsory cancel, then you can go for the appeal. So all these are available in the one portal. And I will go for only registration, because if you go for registration, you can see number of whatever I am discussing, it can be covered here, but it may repeatedly may be covered. But after that also I will show you some video clips. First I will show you video clips better, so that when I will go to the manual, because manual is very clumsy, sometimes very difficult to understand, also visible, sometimes also not there. So let us also go for the applying for the registration. If you are applying for registration, you decide whether you go for normal taxpayer or composition taxpayer or the casual taxpayer. Casual taxpayer means, see, I am occasionally selling. Later, your Deepavali has come and you are cracker wholesaler. So you are going to do the cracker business only in Deepavali, and your turnover may be 1 crore or 2 crores exceeding. Then what will happen? You can go for registration, but in this case, you will pay first tax. You estimate what is your receipt will be, and that tax you deposit. Subsequently, after completion of business, let 5 days or 10 days or 20 days, then you can also go for the withdraw, take out any money excess paid or pay the differential. Similarly, input service distributor, we will discuss input service distributor. I'm not, because it will take more time, I am not discussing. Simple, they are the distributor of the ITC. Non-resident taxpayers, non-resident online service providers, UN body, special economic zone, these are the actual applicants, and tax deductor or tax collector. So these are the persons, for them separate application, but in one application you will understand, all application you can also understand. Let I am going to the normal taxpayer. And as I already told you, in the portal, you have a user manual, you have a FAQ, you can also have a video clip, but video clip is not available in all cases. So that's why if you want to do anything, suppose I am going to composition, you will find only user manual is available. It is not available. But the process of going for the registration in case of a normal taxpayer is the same. And you might have seen many of the professionals I am talking, they are employing, they are intermediate, pass out to, or even also finals are there. They are undertaking the different activities, and they are doing this type of activities. Invoicing system they are managing for different clients. EOABIL they are managing. Return filing they are managing. Return filing is a very good area, and registration they are doing. Other activities they are doing. So they are doing it in the e-portal system. So in normal activity, let us when I am going for applying for registration, it has two parts. One is applying for registration part A, that is for a normal taxpayer. Normal means actually my turnover is exceeding, let I am in Odisha, my turnover from supply of goods is 20 lakhs and more, or I am supplying service, I am supplying service exceeding 20 lakhs, or I am supplying goods exceeding the 40 lakhs. So in that case, I can go for the registration. And again, I am telling, it has now, I started my business last year. Last year it was less than that, but this year I am continuing. Now I found that today it is going to exceed. Then what will happen? You can make the application. So within 30 days, and all the invoices, etc., you can regularize. So that is there. So now we will go for the first point is how to apply. It has two parts. One is apply for registration, the part 1, where the basic information you have to log on and give, and applying for registration part B may you have to give all the details. So the requirement of the details you have to give, and after that you have to authenticate the other authentication is compulsory, just like your Aadhaar, it is compulsory. I am just going to the video clip. So I hope that video clip will be auto replayed. If not there, then I have to link it. You just tell me if it is not auto played, is not shown to you. Is it shown to you? Hello? 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 Madam? Madam, it's shown to you. Just wait, I wanted a confirmation. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, PPT, I will send, just I'm going, the PPT, whatever I've shown you, I can send you through email. You can give me also, there's no issue at all. And just can you confirm that this PPT, this is shown to you now? This one. Hello, madam?
Hello?
Now this video clip is shown to you?
Sir, it's this login portal only. Like,
Oh,
can
shown.
you
That's
please
what I'm
play the video?
No, actually, I doubt it may not shown. I have to link it.
Yes,
Not
sir,
shown,
there is the video only shown. It's
Video
visible.
video is moving.
Yes,
sound,
it's visible.
sound-
Actually, I confused with the login page. Yes,
Okay.
visible.
sound,
In
sound
this
is, sound,
video,
sound is coming.
we will
na?
learn about
Okay.
the registration.
Sound is coming, na? That is, hello, madam?
Ah.
Sound is coming. Sound is coming.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, it's audible and visible. You
Okay.
can continue.
So as I told you in the GSTN portal, and when I am going for registration, I have two parts, so part A and part B. Just I am going for the part A. Just.
In this video, we will learn about the registration process on the GST
sir.
portal for normal
Sir, have
taxpayers.
you changed the video?
No, same video
Actually,
is
sir,
showing.
like, sir, actually, please share your screen again. Like, I think it might not visible.
Okay. That's what I'm telling actually.
It's okay, sir.
Okay, ठीक है.
Video is there.
Sorry, it is also not showing.
Yeah, sir, it's visible now.
Visible, but may not be audible.
Acha.
Because audible, there is one, we have to make a. Now I think it is visible and audible.
Please play it.
Let us begin
Yes.
with part A.
Visible and audible, huh?
Yes, sir, it's visible and audible. You can continue.
Okay.
In this video, we will learn about the registration process on the GST portal for normal taxpayers. Let us begin with part A of this process. Registering with GST is a simple two-stage process consisting of part A and part B of the registration application. This video will introduce you to part A of the registration application. To begin, access the GST portal www.gst.gov.in. From the home page, open the Services menu, click the Registration category and select New Registration option. Alternatively, you can also apply for new registration by clicking on the Register Now tab. Select the New Registration option and provide your basic information including the permanent account number, PAN of the business. Ensure to enter a valid email address and Indian mobile number. The GST portal will communicate one-time passwords, OTPs, and notifications on this email address and mobile number. Clicking Proceed will display all the GSTINs, UINs, and GSTP IDs mapped to your PAN across all the states or UTs in India. Green color implies that the registration application was approved. Red color implies that the registration application was rejected or cancelled. And orange color implies that the registration application is pending for processing or pending for order. Clicking Proceed will send two different OTPs on your email address and mobile number. On the next page, enter the OTP received on your mobile in the Mobile OTP field and the one received in the Email OTP field and click Proceed. This will generate a temporary reference number known as TRN, which will be sent to the registered email address and mobile number of the taxpayer. Note down this TRN carefully and click on Proceed. The portal will take you to Part B of registration application, which you can see in the registration Part B video. Kindly note that the TRN remains valid for 15 days from the date of its generation, and Part B of the application should be completed within this time. This completes Part A of the registration application.
Friends, just I wanted to tell you one point here. Just one point. Yellow, red, it was showing. This one showing. Just to understand, I have a PAN, as already I explained during my presentation of PPT. I am doing my business from Delhi. So my PAN number, All India PAN number, my principal office is at Delhi. And I am working also. I have a branch office at different states, let's say 7 states. So what will happen? I have taken registration in the 7th states. Okay. Now I am starting the new business in the 8th state. Let us take in case of Gujarat. So what will happen when you are going for apply the registration by showing the place of business as Gujarat? Then what will happen? It will show you the existing registration number. That's why this list shows existing number, but the color wise the status they have to show whether it is approved, rejected, or it is pending. That will show. But if it is totally approved, then it will show one color. But you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 applications submitted. Some cases it is pending, some cases rejected, some cases already in the operational. So that is that you are going to keep. Then we can go to the second video. I will go to the second video. Just 1 minute. This one. I'm uploading. Please wait. I think now it is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It is the second part. A second part is very important. And just I'm telling, you just minutely see it, give your concentration on how it is step by step, the information is required to be filled up. It is a 14 minutes. After that, the manual when I will discuss, a few cases may not be visible properly, but you can also understand what are the details are there in the manual, because we have to fill all the details. And already I told you, while going for the registration, particularly in the GSTN portal, it is transaction based. So not like income tax based. So very easy to fill up very few documents. But here number of documents with number of informations, and already I told you particular the place of business to reduce the fake invoices. So just see how the part B information has to be filled up.
In this video, we will learn about Part B of the registration process on the GST portal for normal taxpayers. Registering with GST is a simple two-stage process consisting of Part A and Part B. After generating TRN in Part A, this video will now introduce you to Part B of the registration application. To begin, access the GST portal www.gst.gov.in. From the home page, open the Services menu. Click the registration category and select New Registration option. Select the Temporary Reference Number option and enter TRN, which was generated on submitting Part A of the registration application. Enter the CAPTCHA as you see and click Proceed. This will trigger an OTP. Enter the OTP received and click Proceed. Notice the status of the saved registration application shows as draft. You get 15 days to fill and complete this application from generation of TRN. Go ahead and click the Edit icon. The registration application form with various tabs is displayed and it has multiple sections, with each section containing multiple fields that need to be filled up. Make sure to fill up all the mandatory fields. In the Business Details section, provide the basic details of your business. Enter your trade name and select your constitution of business. In case you are applying for registration as a casual taxable person, select Yes. Enter the period for which registration is required. In the table for estimated supplies and estimated net tax liability, enter taxes and cess in the respective rows and generate the challan to pay the liability. If you wish to opt for the composition levy, select Yes in the option for composition field, else select No. If you selected Yes for composition levy option, select the category of registered person and then accept the declaration for composition levy by selecting the box. If you select the category of registered person as manufacturers other than manufacturers of such goods as may be notified by the government, for which option is not available, a confirmation screen will appear. Select the checkbox to confirm that you are not in the business of manufacturing of any of these commodities and click Confirm.
Just 1 minute. Actually, in the composition scheme, there is a restriction. You cannot go for the taking registration in this type of commodities if you are manufacturing. That's why it is showing that you have to give a confirmation.
If you are registering voluntarily, select Voluntary Basis. Select SEZ unit under Reason to obtain registration in case you want to register as SEZ unit. Enter the required SEZ details. If crossing the threshold is the reason to obtain registration, enter the date of commencement of business and the date on which liability to register arises. In the Indicate Existing Registration section, enter the required details. In the Upload Document section, upload a document related to constitution of business. If your constitution of business is proprietorship, you need not upload any document. Click Save and Continue to save this information. Notice that the Business Details section color has now changed to blue and also has a check mark on it indicating the section is filled with all the required information. You can now navigate to any section of the application and start filling the information. In the Promoter or Partners section, enter the personal information. Then continue to Identity information. Enter your name as spelt in the PAN card. In case of identity information, if you select No for Are you a citizen of India, the passport details will become mandatory and PAN details will become optional. In case of director, enter the director identification number allotted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now, enter details in residential address for the partner or promoter. Country will be selected as India by default. Entering the zip code, also commonly known as PIN code, will auto-populate state, district, and city or town or village fields. Further, add details in rest of the fields to provide complete residential address. In case the taxpayer is a foreign national, the address details have to be entered manually. You can select the address from the Locate Your Address field on the map. On typing the address, you will be suggested a few options. Select from the list and click the Confirm button. The pin on the map can also be moved to the appropriate location. Click the Confirm button once the pin has been placed at the correct location. Based on the selection of the address, a few fields under residential address will be auto-populated. The residential address section can be edited manually even after it has been auto-populated. To change the address, the user can click the Reset Address button. Similar map features are present in the Authorized Signatory, Principal Place of Business, and Additional Place of Business tabs. Next, upload the required proof of details along with photograph. Make sure the photograph and proof of details are in JPEG format and as per the size as specified on the portal. In the Other Information section, select the slider to Yes in case this person needs to be the authorized signatory also. Let's keep it as No for now. Click Save and Continue to move to the next section. The next section allows entering the details of authorized signatories. Select Primary Authorized Signatory and enter relevant personal information. The primary authorized signatory should be a citizen of India. Provide identity information, residential address with PIN code. Upload the required proof of details of authorized signatory along with photograph. Make sure the photograph and proof of details of authorized signatory are in JPEG format and as per the size as specified on the portal.
Friends, this is very important. Actually, you have to keep your the volume, whatever is there, the mode of PDF or JPEG. Other than that, in that file will not be accepted. More than 1 MB, that will not be accepted. And that's why you see maximum file size for uploading is 100 KB. So these things, photograph, etc., everything should be within the limit which has been prescribed. Otherwise, you already started the doing the filling of the form, and continuing, then you have to held up because of this. So accordingly, you previously also, if it oversized or if it exceeding the MB, you can also make it compressed so that the volume will be reduced.
You can add up to 10 authorized signatories, including the primary authorized signatory, by clicking the Add New button and adding the details. Click.
Friends, this is very important. Actually, authorized signatory is the person who will do all the activities. So starting from filing of the return, making any amendments, changes, replying to the notices, replying to the investigations, scrutiny, informations, everything, filing appeal, adjudication process reply, appeal filing during appeal period. So everything is the authorized person. So many company cases, they are keeping more than one authorized person. Now it is already we have seen it, maximum 10 authorized person can be enrolled. So accordingly, you have to fill up all the data in respect of the 10 numbers, whatever you are going to decide. If you decide 3, that is in respect of 3. If you decide 2, then in respect of 10. But don't keep 1. If the person is not available, then everything will be held up.
Save and continue to save this information. In the next section, you may add information about any authorized representative if desired. If you
Actually, authorized representative means not authorized signatory who will act on your behalf. So I am an authorized representative of the company. So I am going for the appearing before different authorities, etc., or for other activities. That's why it is authorized representative, because that has to be.
Select yes. Choose the type of authorized representative. Authorized representative can appear on behalf of registered person during any proceedings. In case you select GST practitioner, enter enrollment ID and all details of the authorized representative will be auto-populated from the GST portal. In case you select other, enter details as required.
Others includes your cost accountants, chartered accountants, company secretaries, advocates. So they can be treated as authorized representative. GST practitioners, why are top of populated all the activities. The reason is they are the because there is some examination you have to pass. They have been enrolled as GST practitioners. You can see the provisions. So that's why it has been told. So either GST practitioners, or you can see the others can be the authorized representative who can act on your behalf at different forums, different activities. They can submit the replies under their signature, but uploading will be only done by the authorized signatory. You see, it is showing all the cases. Charter cost, company secretary, like this, 7, 8 items.
Else, you may skip this section and move to the next. That is, principal place of business, by clicking Save and Continue. Here, in the Principal Place of Business tab, provide the address of your business premises. Center and state jurisdiction will be auto-populated based on the address. In case it is more than one, you have to choose one of those.
Hence, I was telling you under whether you will cover under state jurisdiction or central jurisdiction. So if you are covered under state jurisdiction, all the activities, reporting, etc., and starting from filing of a return, complying with all the provisions of the act, the proceedings started by the department, everything will be under the state government. So if it is central, then it is under the central government. But in addition to that, already I told, even if you registered either as a state or either as a center, but the other, suppose you register as a center, under center, but state also can go for the initiating proceedings, such as audit investigation. Once audit investigation started by them, the assessment also will be done by them. Then appeal you have to file with the state, even if you are the covered under the central registration. So now, for the purpose of scrutiny proceedings, I can say investigation, search, seizure, etc. Everything will be undertaken by the other one where you are not registered. So that's a but you are reportable to one of the jurisdictions. So jurisdiction either state or center. But for the purpose of proceeding, others both can have the power to do it. There is section 6, you can see it.
The contact information of the given location, nature of possession of the premises like shared, sublet, etc. Upload the documents that support the information you entered. Make sure that the document is in PDF or JPEG format and size is as specified on the portal. In case the principal place of business is neither on rent nor on premises, select the Others option and upload a No Objection Certificate (NOC) from the owner of the premises. Next, enter the nature of your business. Notice that you can add more than one activity in Nature of Business Activity section. If you have an additional place of business in addition to the principal place of business, that is, you carry out business from multiple premises, select Yes and then Save and Continue. You can add more than one additional place of business by clicking on Add New button. Address proof is also required for additional place of business.
Friends, just I am telling this additional place of business in the same state or same union territory. If I have a principal office at Delhi, I have already taken a registration in Gujarat, but I wanted to take registration in West Bengal. So here the registration I am applying for in the state of West Bengal. So in the West Bengal, if I want to keep more than one business premises, that's why you have to mention here. You cannot mention other than West Bengal. So that's why the additional place of business means the place of business in the same state where you are going to applying for the registration. That should be that you can keep in mind.
Move on to the next section of goods and services related information. In this section, provide information about up to 5 primary goods and services that you supply. Enter the name of the goods and services and the HSN Harmonized System of Nomenclature code will be displayed. In the next section, you may provide any state-specific information if desired. Else, you can skip this section and move on to the next section of the application, that is Aadhaar authentication. To view steps to furnish information for Aadhaar authentication and verification tabs, check our next video on Aadhaar authentication.
Friends, just wait. I will upload the how to make authentication of the Aadhaar. So then we will proceed further. Friends, this is the related to the Aadhaar authentication. So how to go for the, because without authentication, your registration is not a valid registration because it is become mandatory.
In this video, we will learn about Aadhaar authentication or eKYC for persons applying for registration as normal taxpayers on the GST portal. Hope you have watched the Part A and Part B of the registration videos and have furnished information till State-Specific Information tab. This video will introduce you to the process of Aadhaar authentication or eKYC for GST registration, with which filing of your registration application will be complete. Let's begin with Aadhaar authentication. Please note that Aadhaar authentication can only be undergone by Indian citizens and is not required for foreign nationals. Log in using the temporary reference number which was generated on submitting Part A of the registration application. Enter the OTP and proceed. My Saved Application page is displayed. However, if you are already logged in, you can access My Saved Application page.
Friends, just I wanted to tell you, actually, when I was showing you the GST portal, I could not show you this because if you have a registration, then you can go to the inside of that to see it. My saved application, my application, view submission. Submission means it may be related to the proceedings. All these things are there. So that's why it is showing now.
From the dashboard. As the application is not submitted yet, the status shows as draft. Go ahead and click the edit icon. Click the Aadhaar authentication tab. Please note that Aadhaar authentication is selected as yes by default. Note that the requirement of undergoing Aadhaar authentication is dependent upon the constitution of business.
Just read it. I am showing you because who are the authorized persons? That is there in case of partnership firm, the proprietor, and they are the primary authorized person. Any employee can be the secondary. Partnership firm, the proprietor, or the primary authorized signatory. Any other requirements are there. Hindu Undivided Community, Kotta, company, public limited or private limited, it is the director, any director, company, foreign company, director not mandatory. If the director is not a citizen resident in any authorized person, limited liability partnership firm, actually the LLP, that is the same director, society, any member, other cases, any member. So that's why the authorized person should be a valid person who has the authority to do it.
The table on screen explains and lists the Aadhaar authentication requirements for different types of constitution of business. In case you opt for Aadhaar authentication of promoters or partners, authorized signatories, select at least one person from the list displayed for Aadhaar authentication and click Save and Continue. In case the promoter or partner and primary authorized signatory are the same, only one needs to be verified. If they are different, then both have to be verified. Please verify that the email address and mobile number of promoter or partner and primary authorized signatory are correct. The Aadhaar validation link will be sent on the email address and mobile number provided while filling up the registration application. Now, submit the application with DSC or EVC. To register DSC, click on Register or Update DSC under User Services. If you are submitting the application using EVC, you will be required to enter an OTP for authentication. The OTP will be sent to the email address and mobile number of the authorized signatory selected by you. Click on Proceed button after reading the warning message. You will receive a success message on the portal. Note that the Aadhaar authentication needs to be completed within 15 days from the date of generation of TRN. ARN will be generated immediately after the Aadhaar authentication is successful. In case the Aadhaar authentication fails, then also ARN will be generated immediately afterwards. However, if Aadhaar authentication is not attempted within the given timeline, ARN will be generated after expiry of 15 days from the date of generation of TRN. The process of filing of application for new registration would be complete once the ARN is generated successfully. Now, check your email or the SMS received on your mobile and click on the Click Here hyperlink. You will be redirected to complete your Aadhaar authentication. Select either VID or Aadhaar to proceed further. Enter your virtual ID or Aadhaar number and click the Validate Aadhaar Number button. You will receive an OTP on the mobile number linked to your Aadhaar. Enter the OTP and click the Validate OTP button. Once the validation is complete, a success message will be displayed on the screen. You will also receive a message confirming the successful verification of your Aadhaar number on your email address and mobile number. OTP remains valid for 10 minutes. In case you enter wrong OTP, the portal will return a message that you have entered wrong OTP. You will then be required to generate another OTP by clicking on Resend OTP. In case you do not have Aadhaar, you have to opt for eKYC for completing the registration process. For this, you will need to select No for Aadhaar authentication. Please note that Aadhaar enrollment ID is mandatory for eKYC, and as you have not opted for Aadhaar authentication, your registration application will be subject to site verification. Click OK to continue. You can upload eKYC documents for primary authorized signatory and at least one promoter or partner. In absence of Aadhaar, eKYC is mandatory where Aadhaar enrollment ID with one additional document as notified will be required to be uploaded. Note, the file should be in PDF or JPEG format only, and the size should be as specified on the portal. Also, make sure that the eKYC documents selected for upload have your name as spelt in PAN. Note, you can click the Delete button to delete the uploaded documents if required. Click Save and Continue to submit the eKYC documents and move on to the Verification tab. Now, submit the application with DSC or EVC. You will receive a success message on the portal. The process of filing of application for new registration would be complete once the ARN is generated successfully. You can subsequently track your registration application on the GST portal by navigating to Services, Track Application Status, selecting Registration option from Module drop-down, and entering the ARN or SRN in the field and clicking Search. SRN is Service Request Number. This number is generated when you apply for GST registration through the MCA portal. This concludes the three-part series on filing of application for new registration, including undergoing Aadhaar authentication or eKYC.
Friends, just wait. We can see some more also. There is a composition manual. After that, actually, it is for every point it is there, but just one few more videos are showing you. Then I will go to the manual form I will show. But entire manual form has been nicely given here. And sometimes you are going for the registration as a applying for registration. That is for the TDS. So tax deduction at source. So some cases you are going for the station, let government department is deducting, and you as a company, there is a compliance is there. If you are procuring the goods and services from certain supplier exceeding 2.5 lakhs perhaps, then in that case you are required to deduct the TDS from the supplier and deposit it, just like income tax it will be deposited, and the credit will go to the supplier. That credit the supplier can adjust against the output tax. But how to go forward for the registration as a TDS, just I'm explaining to you. Just 1 minute. The video just I'm uploading, then you can see it. Just it has also part part 1 and part 2, both cases. Just have a look.
With GST is a simple two-stage process consisting of Part A and Part B of the registration. Registering with GST is a simple two-stage process consisting of Part A and Part B of the registration application. This video will introduce you to Part A of the registration application. To begin, access the GST portal at www.gst.gov.in. At the home page, scroll down and click the Register Now link. Note that the fields marked with a red at
just 1 minute I'm showing, and click. You see here the taxpayer normal, TDS or TCS. So that's why you are going for the TDS and GCS. So that's why it has to be shown.
The Register Now link. Note that the fields marked with a red color dot are mandatory fields, and the available parameters depend on the type of registration that you select in the first drop-down here. The New Registration option is selected by default. Go ahead and open the I am a drop-down list and select Tax Deductor. Provide your location information and legal name. Enter your permanent account number, PAN, or tax deduction and collection account number, TAN. You can take TDS registration based on either PAN or TAN. Enter your account number, a valid email address, and an Indian mobile phone number. GST portal will communicate one-time passwords, OTPs, and notifications through this email address and mobile phone number. Enter the CAPTCHA code and click Proceed. This will send two different OTPs, one each on your mobile phone number and email address. On the next page that appears, enter the two OTPs and click Proceed. This will complete Part A of the registration application and will generate a temporary reference number, TRN. Note down this TRN. You will need this for filling Part B of the registration application form. We'll see how to do that in the next video. Thank you.
Just I'm going to part 2. I'm just disconnecting. And this is related to the TDS. Similarly, the TCS also to be done.
Registering with GST is a simple two-stage process consisting of Part A and Part B of the registration application. This video will introduce you to Part B of the registration application. To begin, access the GST portal at www.gst.gov.in. At the home page, scroll down and click the Register Now link. Select the Temporary Reference Number option. Enter the TRN that was generated on submitting Part A of the registration application and enter the CAPTCHA code as before.
Friends, just one
Click
point. CAPTCHA code sometimes is very difficult to read also. So that's why there is a sound system is there. You can change it also clicking here, or you can also sound system, and where it will read the figures, then you can also go for writing it.
Proceed when done. This will send an OTP on your mobile phone number as well as email address. Enter the OTP when received and click Proceed. Notice the status of the registration application shows as draft. Go ahead and click the Edit icon to continue. Part B here has 5 sections, with each section containing multiple fields that need to be filled up. Make sure to fill out all the mandatory fields. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete Part B. You get 15 days to fill and submit this application. The available fields depend on your selection in the Constitution of Business drop-down. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll select Government Department. Then, select the type of government and the date on which tax needs to be deducted. In the Jurisdictional Details section, select your sector, circle, ward, charge, or unit and fill out the center jurisdiction details from the respective drop-downs. Click Save and Continue to save this information. Notice the color of Business Details tab has changed to blue and it now has a tick mark on it, which indicates that the respective section contains all the required information. Also notice that the Drawing and Disbursing Officer (DDO) section becomes active, where you'll need to enter the details of your Drawing and Disbursing Officer or a person who is responsible for deducting tax. Fill out the personal information, the identity information, and the residential address of the Drawing and Disbursing Officer. Next, upload the photograph of the person whose information is provided, making sure it is in JPEG format with up to 100 KB in size. In the Other Information section, select the slider to Yes if this person needs to be an authorized signatory also. Let's keep this to No for now and save this information to move to the Authorized Signatory section. Check the Primary Authorized Signatory option and enter relevant personal information of this person. Notice that the registered mobile phone number and email address gets filled automatically. After personal information, enter the identity information, residential address, and upload a photograph of this person based on the given parameters as before. You can add multiple authorized signatories by using the Add New option. Once done, click.
Here's just one point I'm telling. You can also take your photograph here also. That's why it's showing. You can use your device camera to take your selfie photograph. So that's why that facility also there.
Once done, click Save and Continue as before. In the Office Address of Tax Deductor section that opens next, fill out the address of your business premises, the contact information of the given location, nature of possession of the premise, and attach a document such as electricity bill that supports this information. You will see more options in this drop-down. While attaching, please make sure that the document is in PDF or JPEG format with up to 1 MB in size. Click Save and Continue to proceed. And verify the entered details before submitting the form. Check the declaration statement, select the name of the authorized signatory, and enter the name of place. Finally, submit the application using one of the 3 options displayed on your screen. In this example, I'll submit my application using the Electronic Verification Code (EVC) option, which requires entering the OTP for authentication. Once the form gets submitted successfully, the GST portal will display a success message. It's that simple.
That's just 1 minute. Other authentication we have seen temporary ID, the user manual is there, but there is no such video clips. And again, amendment of a core field and non-core field. Actually, it is in your syllabus, as I have seen. Just I am putting one.
Amending.
Just wait, please.
Core fields of GST registration. Example, Ashok's company is registered with GST as a partnership firm. He wants to add details of a new partner. To begin, access the GST portal by visiting the website www.gst.gov.in. From the home page, open the Services menu. Click the Registration category and select Amendment of Registration Core Fields option. The next page opens with Core Fields of Business Details tab by default. Select the Promoters or Partners tab and click Add New button to add the details of the partner. Enter the personal information like name, father's name, date of birth, gender, and other identity information such as designation, permanent account number, PAN, Aadhaar number, etc. The next step requires you to upload a supporting document. Next, upload the photograph. Make sure the photograph is in JPEG format and size is less than 100 KB. Add reasons and date of amendment and then click the Save button. You will see your newly added details of stakeholders listed with options to edit or delete it. Similarly, you can add or edit details in other sections of the registration application. To submit this information in the GST portal, click Continue, which will take you to the verification step. Accept the declaration. Select the name of authorized signatory. Enter the place and sign the application using either of the given options. If you are submitting an amendment application on behalf of a company or a limited liability partnership (LLP) firm, then you must use the DSC option. Otherwise, you may sign by any of the three options displayed. For this demonstration, I'll use the Submit with DSC option. On the warning message, click Proceed. On the GST Digital Signature Signer page that will open, click the Sign button. On successful submission, the system will display a success message. It's that simple.
Friends, just we'll go the second part. Amendment in non-core field. The second part, just I'm going. Just
Amending non-core fields of GST. Registration. Example. Ashok has recently opened a new bank account and wants to
previously it was a core field, now it is a non-core field.
Add its details into the GST registration of his company. To begin, access the GST portal by visiting the website www.gst.gov.in. From the home page, open the Services menu. Click the Registration category and select Amendment of Registration Non-Core Fields option. The next page opens with Non-Core Fields of Business Details tab by default. Select the Bank Accounts tab to see the options for adding or editing bank account details. To add one more bank account, increase the number in Total Number of Bank Accounts Maintained field by 1. Notice that the Add New button has become active. Go ahead and click it to get the fields for entering the details of your new bank account. Enter the account number. Select the type of account and enter the IFSC code of your bank's branch. If you do not know the IFSC code of your branch, then click the provided link here to let the GST portal search it for you. In the pop-up, select your bank, state, district, and city and click Save. For demonstration purposes, I have entered my IFSC code already. The next step requires you to upload a supporting document such as the first page of the new account's passbook, its statement, or a cancelled check with the taxpayer's or business entity's name printed on it. I'll select the first page of bank's passbook from the available options and upload the file. Make sure that your document must be either in PDF or JPEG format with size of up to 1 MB. Once done, click Save and Continue to save this information. You will see your newly added bank account listed with options to edit or delete it. To submit this information in the GST portal, click Continue which will take you to the verification step. Accept the declaration. Select the name of authorized signatory. Enter the place and sign the application using either of the given options. If you are submitting an amendment application on behalf of a company or a limited liability partnership LLP firm, then you must use the DSC option. Otherwise, you may sign by any of the three options displayed. For this demonstration, I'll use the EVC option. I'll enter the OTP and validate it to successfully file my amendment application. It's that simple.
Friends, the last video I will try to show you because I have to go for some other arrangement. Just hold on. You can have one video. One is the opting for the composition scheme, withdrawal from composition scheme I am showing. Opting we have shown there. Just have this application. You applied for the composition scheme, continue with the composition scheme, but subsequently you want to withdraw it, opt out of that. How to work with that?
Taxpayers registered under composition scheme can file for voluntary withdrawal from this scheme if one or more of its terms are no longer fulfilled and register as normal taxpayers. This video will walk you through the steps to voluntarily withdraw from the composition scheme. To begin, access the GST portal www.gst.gov.in and log in with your user ID and password. Next, open the Services menu. Click the Registration category and select the Application for Withdrawal from Composition Levy option. This will open the form that is required to be filled for intimation or application for withdrawal from composition levy. In this example, let's assume that the taxpayer has exceeded the prescribed threshold limit and therefore wants to withdraw from the composition scheme. Hence, I'll go ahead and enter the date on which the turnover exceeded threshold limit and select that as the reason for withdrawal from the composition scheme. Please note that taxpayers can withdraw from the composition scheme due to various other reasons, such as voluntary withdrawal, even if they are fulfilling the terms of this scheme, supply of goods or services, or both that are outside the scope of composition scheme, interstate supply of goods through e-commerce operator, manufacture of notified goods, or reasons other than those listed here. Withdrawal can be done from current date as well as from a previous date. Once done, click the checkbox against verification statement to affirm and declare that the information provided is correct and that nothing has been concealed therefrom. Next, select the name of authorized signatory and enter the place of business. The designation of authorized signatory and the date field will get auto-populated. Finally, save your application and file it using either DSC, EVC, or e-sign options. For the purpose of demonstration, I'll click the Submit with DSC button. Accept the warning message. Select My Registered DSC and click the Sign button.
This will show you how you are going to use the DSC. Actually, in the previous many slides, we have not shown how the DSC will be used, but here you can see also.
The system will display a confirmation message indicating that the withdrawal application from the composition scheme has been successfully submitted with DSC. It's that simple. Taxpayers registered under composition scheme can file for voluntary withdrawal from this scheme.
And how to opt for that is also a few slides are there, but time is not permitting. If in next class any time will come, some pending things we can also go for the discussion. So now I will go to the portal. If you have any question, just I will take off. I think 39 attendance. So question and answer. I think this is recorded video. You can see repeated time so that more input can be given to you. Actually, I think somebody has written, can you send this PPT through email? If you give the email, then I can also send you. My email I am giving to you. Just anybody can have it. So this email given, if you want PPT, I can give you. Madam, we can close it.
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. We
Thank
can
you.
end
Thank
the
you.
session. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.